Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching from. As always, if you're joining me live, let me know where you're watching from in the comment section and feel free to drop a question or a comment as we move along. So, I'm going to try as much as possible not to take much of our time and make it short. So, today I am being led to share with you guys the priority of legacy. Our ambitions, like as a human being, fuel our passion. And in that, we actually gain the knowledge. You know, some of us actually go back to school to learn, to have a career, to build our dream life and our jobs. But being educated is not just about our qualifications. The goal of academics, I know it's going to shock some people. The goal of academics is just regulation, order, standardization, but unfortunately is limiting. Yeah, because like when we go to school, we are being taught certain things and we are being tested about those certain things. But education is vertical, is self-taught, is what we teach ourselves. What we teach ourselves. So, quick one, every vision must be greater than you. If you have a vision of owning a massive estate or building a legacy for your children, if your vision is to own a massive estate or you want to build a big legacy for your children, that dream might not to you right now actually been realizing. You might not be realizing that dream even at your age, but you have that vision which is bigger than you, and any of your vision needs to outlive you. So we're getting to where the topic is about the priority of building legacy. All your visions must be able to outlive you. That is why, as parents, like most parents, when you ask them, why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you wake up and why did you? They'll tell you it's about their children. But if you are building a legacy, you must also build the successor. A successor preserve the success. So I've shared my story like about how I went digital in my business because my daughter of 6 years at that time, I came back home tired and exhausted. And as usual, like when I'm tired, it's always maybe the dad that does the dinner and all that. And she told me one day, like, is this how all adult works? When she said that thing, I think I didn't sleep overnight. I thought about that over and over. Like I kept praying and asking, like, why I had that statement from her at that point. Let me know where you're watching from, guys. So, if we are building a legacy, you should also be building the successor to that legacy. You know, some parents, a lot of things that I see among children are some parents growing up in anger, in everything they build up because one, they don't have a present successor, and most of us are too busy to actually receive feedback from our children, which is so, so not healthy. I was one of those at a time. We have a lot going on in our lives. We are in school, we are doing career, we are juggling life. As a human being, when you come back home, you're tired and exhausted, and you get to forget you have a little ones, which you have to ask how their day, to ask about feedback, to actually, analyze how they've been. Because children of these days, they are psychoanalyzing. They want someone to ask them questions. They want to be able to talk to you. So if we are building legacy and not building the successor, that legacy might not even they might not really value it. All they might be praying for is when is this person, if you have an older children and you've not been there with them and actually go with them, some of them might be asking, when is this person going to die so I can just sell off or whatever thing you think you've been building for years. So without legacy, without having legacy in mind, we are all, doing our solo acts. Leadership is a role model. That is some of the things we don't see now because most of our leaders are busy trying to become celebrities and forgetting what they're supposed to do. you know. So I'm gonna share a quick one from Mandela's history. He said something, and I learned two things from that. He said something about his father being his mentor, and his father will always take him to all the peaceful demonstration, all the meetings, and what is common at any point in time is when they go for those meetings, they will sit in circles, and his father will be the one to speak last. Instead of being the one to speak last. Now, sitting in a circle means we are all equal. No one is bigger or greater than one another. I need you guys to share your opinions. At the end of the opinions, I'm gonna say what I think is right. So I'm going to talk about, when we're talking about legacy, succession is the key, is the solution, is the key to, all when you're building your legacy, building a successor who is going to take over is what matters. Because if you struggle through life, because the one thing about life, mortality is a reality, whether you like it or not, it's a reality. So if you don't spend time to build the succession of whatever you're struggling or doing in life right now might not make sense when you're gone. Yeah, that is why I said your vision must be able to outlive you. Your vision must be able to outlive you. That is why the succession preserve legacy, because if you build them, they're gonna preserve your legacy. They're gonna leave your name in something to their children and their children, and it keeps going on. But when we don't spend time building the successor and we're building our success, no one will preserve it, because our successors are those that's going to preserve our success. One thing that is very for me that is striking when I started my business, I'm going to share, is being able to come into a space where you're trained immediately to become a mentor. And when people say mentorship and coaching, mentorship is actually the very close-knitted thing. Actually, it's the technology that drives, the whole success of everything we're doing. And there's three things in mentorship, it's transformation, it's translation, and it's transference. Because a coach might give you an idea of how you want to live, but a mentor is going to walk you through and make sure you get to that, point or the goal of what you're achieving. And a mentor is someone who is courageous enough to even let you succeed beyond them. Yeah, to even let you succeed beyond them. So I'm going to make sure I stay within the context. Mentorship is replicating the process, not the product. Replicating the success, not the product. So as parents, we are mentors to our children. We are not about to tell them, you must be in this career to succeed. We are to tell them, our life and lived experiences to teach them to become successful and be able to preserve our success, because they are successors. Whether you're in good terms with them or not, at one point they are your successors and they will preserve your success. So how much time do you give to those who's going to preserve your success? How much time? Like I said, the goal of academics, whether we like it or not, is regulation, is order, is standardization, but it's limiting, because it's a one straight thing. It's one straight thing. You're being taught on this and you write a test on it and you pass. That is why some of our professors they are not millionaires or they're not billionaires, because they have this one size fits of knowledge. And that's how, it goes with them. So mentorship is replicating the process. If you're able to build an empire, build your successors so that they can be able to take up and manage the success that you have built. So I'm going to advocate now for the children and for whoever is going to become your successor. Spend time to, take them out, get feedback on a daily basis. You must not spend money to, get all these things. Be present in their life, appreciate their time, appreciate their patience with you, appreciate things they do with you. Mentorship is caught rather than taught. Because you've gone through a lot of things in life, and when they see you, they learn from all that. So some parents that sometimes you share your story to your children about how you suffer to get where you are. They might not really care about how you suffer to get there. They are actually looking at what you're doing now to get to where you want to go to. That is what they're about, because they don't care. I grew up in a generation where there's a cassette, and we're still in that, where there's a cassette that you have to use a pen to wind, and there is this, when you're going to like a computer house, then, there is this mainframe building and everything going on in the system, programming and all that. But right now, what's my phone? Right now, everything now is here. Those days when you want to call someone abroad, you have to queue, to call the person, and the person has to queue as well wherever they are, to line up to be able to receive the call. Those times are gone. Now everything is here. No one has to queue anywhere. You just, at your time, at your convenience, at your place, do this. Now, this is part of the reason why I asked, if whatever you're doing or if what you're doing is not digital or you're not monetizing your presence on social media, it's high time you do that. It's high time you do that because the world is evolving. There are a lot of the pros and the cons of the pandemic is that the world system has changed and everything is, here. What some people don't know, or what most people don't know, is that the people that actually control the economy of the world are not people you actually know or hear their names. The very most people that actually control those things are very silent, wealthy, controlling from just sitting down on their system and on their laptop and doing a lot of things. So, like I tell anyone that's come on board to ask me questions, I actually want to start a business, but I'm skeptical. And I'm like, it's okay to be skeptical because that is how your nervous system is wired to defend, to help you, to look around, to scan the room, to scan what you're about to do and to tell you your comfort zone is comfortable. But it isn't. And until you rewire your neural system and tell yourself and encourage yourself to step out, you can't evolve from that comfort place. And I'm gonna say there's something someone asked yesterday. I'm gonna just read. It's easier to actually survive in Europe, or let me use the word, in UK or England and in Canada than in America. Yeah, it's very easy to survive in this part of the world than in America because I'm going to leave most of the reasons out, because you can adapt to a lot of things. But America, if you don't have the mind to dominate, to fit into the system, to work with what is there, you will find yourself doing things you seemingly will not want to do in your life. And the next line of things that people will always do is to go into academics, which is going to limit you. Unfortunately, yeah, because our academics are just about, like I said, regulation, order, standardization. It is not going to take you there. Your self-taught education is what is going to take you through life struggles, life tests, life exams. And until you self-educate yourself, you won't get there. So first, I'm going to go back to my context, which is building, your successor. That is a priority of legacy. Make sure you build a successor that is going to, take up the leadership. For every leader, the key feature is loyalty. Because if you find this loyalty in your children, you are not even happy leaving those legacy for them. You are not happy leaving it for them. So invest in yourself in the right things. Invest in yourself in the right things so that those things are what is going to help you to build a legacy and also have time to build your successor, who are the ones who are going to preserve your success, who are going to be the ones to preserve your success. So, like I said, if the pandemic didn't teach us anything, is that it redirected the way of life, the way of us living, everything about us is now being, whether you like it or not, systemized, digitalized. So a lot of things that we come to do with as a human being to distract our mind and all that, it takes a courageous, leader to begin to prepare for his own absence. As parents, we are all leaders. So it takes a courageous leader, because if you ask every parent, whether you're in your 30s or your 40s or your 50s, all we want to do is to build a legacy for our kids. Now, it takes someone courageous to do that. So you give yourself a pat on the back for even having the courage to build a legacy for your kids. Now, it takes a successor to preserve those legacies that you've built. Do not find yourself having a successor that is going to be praying for you to just go, let me just sell up all those things, and won't even manage all your suffering and all your things, all the things you've done so far, how you wanted to, and extend your name. So the priority of building legacy is actually having a successor who's going to preserve your success. So guys, like I said, I'm going to make it short. And today is Thursday. It's another avenue for you to learn the blueprint of how you can start and run your own business, or how you can even monetize your presence on social media. That is what it is. And the thing, like I tell people, that my passion about it is it doesn't just build you as a CEO, it builds you as a mentor, it builds you as a parent, because it's an education, as in lifelong education where you learn on things you're gonna do, how you're gonna retire. Because a lot of things I've seen, even in this part of the world, is a lot of us are successful, but our successors are not reliable. Why? Because at the early age of their lives, some of us weren't present. Some teenagers and some kids, like what I see now, and some of them that started their business with me, like I mentor, what I see is an angry, accumulated emotions of things they feel, the resentful, the resent that they feel for their parents for not being there where they want them to be. So if you're parents, if you're even single, planning on settling down and you're building your legacy, make sure you put again at the back of your mind, why building it? Build a successor that is going to preserve your success, because mortality is a reality, whether we like it or not. So back to my invitation to the workshop. Today is Thursday. The very workshop, 90 minutes workshop, where we show you the blueprint on how you can start and run your own business, the business your name you're going to carry as legacy to this your successors. And it also teaches you or helps you have time to create that life you desire, have time to actually, if you've not been there, have time to actually build your successor while still building your legacy. And that's the beauty of it. So for every one of you that have said, I have a lot of messages, mentorship and all that. I am not for everyone. Like I said, that's the best thing I learned from my business meetings. You are not for everyone. We are all created with a mandate. We all have a divine assignment, and we all have people that have been assigned to us. Yes. Learning from all the people that's very successful in our business, it takes, a loyal and a committed mentee, for him or her or for you to be successful. So I am not for everyone. I am for those selected few that are ready to take their life to the next level, that want time and financial flexibility. Those people that just don't want to just live, but actually, um, be present in their successor's life while still enjoying the now and saving up for your golden years. Now, the beauty of it is also one thing I know. I'm so happy this morning because one of my business partner, she got to this level and almost approaching her goal. And she's one of these major armies that God is raising financially, God is raising to actually build up their successors. So, guys, a quick one before I go. So, join us live today, 8 p.m. EST, 6 p.m. MST. You can check what that is in your time zone today. So actually take your time to watch it. And if you're skeptical, it's okay to be skeptical. I've said it. You can always slide in, send me a direct message. I can send you my number. We can talk. You ask all the questions you would like to ask or wish to ask. We are everyday people, like I said. Why I come here is because I want to help a lot of families build that dream life, create balance, your work life family balance, create that balance. You build your legacy where you're building your successor to actually preserve it. And that is it, guys. Have an amazing Thursday and have a blessed day. Thank you for watching and bye.